अच्छा, क्या आप जानती हैं आज लोग कौन सी बीमारी से सबसे ज्यादा मर रहे हैं? कोविड, एड्स या कुछ और?
शायद कोविड?
नहीं। एक रिपोर्ट के अनुसार कोविड या एड्स की तुलना में क्षय रोग अधिक लोगों को मार रहा है। यह वास्तव में चौंकाने वाला लगता है, लेकिन यह सच है और इसलिए हमें इस तरह की एक शक्तिशाली आपदा को समाप्त करने की आवश्यकता है। क्या आप जानते हैं एनटीबी स्ट्रेटजी 2025 क्या है?
हाँ, स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्रालय ने 2025 तक टीबी को समाप्त करने के लक्ष्य के साथ राष्ट्रीय रणनीति योजना विकसित की है। मुझे इसके बारे में और जानना है।
Then you must attend this session, that is End of Tuberculosis by 2025 and the Role of Medicos by Dr. Suryakant sir. मैं निवेदन करूंगा डॉक्टर सूर्यकांत सर से, सर प्लीज स्टेज पर आएं। मैं निवेदन करूंगा डॉक्टर नरन बाबू सर से फॉर द फेलिसिटेशन ऑफ डॉक्टर सूर्यकांत सर।
So ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take opportunity to invite Dr. Suryakant sir on the stage to cast light on the topic of his plenary lecture, that is End of Tuberculosis by 2025, Role of Medicos. He is the professor and head of Department of Respiratory Medicine at King George Medical University, Lucknow. Sir, please.
Thank you. The apex body of medical fraternity in this country, aiming for one of the best medical education and best doctors in this country, and this is the only medical fraternity in the world whose membership is not only with the MBBS doctors but also with the students. I think this is the only network and platform where the teacher and the student, the senior doctors and medical student can interact and can learn from each other. Why I am saying each other? Because yes, you can learn from anybody, including your patient or your student. So coming to the topic, can you share my slide please? I'm very thankful to the national leadership of NMO, especially Dr. Vishambar Singh, who has persuaded me. Although I am closely associated with NMO, you will be surprised to know that my NMO life membership is 45. And I started this work in King George Medical College. At that time it was Medical College. Now it's a Medical University in Uttar Pradesh. First time this established in 1988, and I was the first, founder organizing secretary at that time. So I have contributed to the journal also, but NMO journal as a guest editor in 2018, and also with various some other, of course, the responsibilities like the president of one of the state, patron of the state. So our topic is that it is basically the dream of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji to end TB by 2025. The question is, what is our role? Only Prime Minister Modi can end TB by 2025? No. And that's why I used to say in my public domain lectures कि प्रधान से लेके प्रधानमंत्री, everybody has to be involved for TB elimination from this country, as you have done in the past for smallpox in the 20th century and polio in. So this is my request also. You can see the two slokas related with TB in Rig Veda. Rig Veda is the oldest Veda, and we know. So this is my request too. Yesterday I was listening about the verticals in the NMO, and this is my request to add each and every vertical, that whenever you discuss any topic, maybe surgery, maybe gynae, maybe orthopedics, maybe cardiology, maybe anything else. Try to search the literature in your medical heritage. Because by this you will project your medical heritage. That is what I have brought for you. That these are the two important shlokas. That Munkami Tva Havisa Jivanakam Avinatya Madhyusta Raj Yakshma. So in Sanskrit it has been described Raj Yakshma. So I can say, if you go for the milestone of tuberculosis, the oldest literature you will find in the Sanskrit language in the Rig Veda. Now, after this, the important milestone is the discovery of causative organism, and you know that Robert Koch, he discovered the causative organism of tuberculosis on 24th March 1882, and he was awarded with Nobel Prize in 1905, and that's why the discovery date, the 24th March, is being celebrated as World TB Day. And I think every medico should remember this date, other than your birthday and whatever it is, anniversary or anything. But you must remember this date also, the World TB Day, and every NMO member should celebrate this by awareness, by advocacy, by some other activities, maybe academic, maybe non-academic, maybe societal activity, maybe your medical college activity, on every 24th March, that is the World TB Day. So will you celebrate from next year onwards? कितने लोग वर्ल्ड टीबी डे मनाएंगे? हाथ खड़ा करिए. कोई फोटोग्राफर हो तो जरा इन सबके हाथ की जरा फोटो खींच लीजिए. मेरा नहीं, इन सबका, क्योंकि इन सब ने कमिट किया है अभी कि ये वर्ल्ड टीबी डे मनाएंगे. प्रधानमंत्री जी के साथ हाथ मिलाएंगे फॉर एंडिंग द टीबी इन दिस कंट्री. ओके, ग्रेट. Tuberculosis, as you know, you can divide this history of tuberculosis in pre-chemotherapeutic era and post-chemotherapeutic era. Pre-chemotherapeutic era means before 1994, because in 1994 the first anti-tubercular drug, that is streptomycin, came into the existence. Before that there was no modern system of medicine. No modern system of medicine had the medicine for treatment. And what was the treatment? The same treatment was practiced throughout the world, whatever it has been described in Ayurveda or Rig Veda. That is fresh air, good nursing care, good nutrition. The name has been changed in the Western world in the form of sanatorium treatment. That's all. Otherwise, the component remained the same for the management of TB from thousand years till 1944. That is the power of our medical heritage. That world has witnessed the same treatment protocol which have been devised in our Ayurveda or Rig Veda. Only thing they did, change the name. There are a lot of anti-tubercular drugs came into existence. I'm not going into the detail. And of course, we started a national program for TB. So we have now a lot of many national health programs, and one of the national health program is the National TB Elimination Program. Initially, it was started in 1962. Name was NTP. Then it was named as RTCP in, of course, 1993. And then, of course, expansion of the program was done. And recently, in 2020, after the declaration of NTP by 2025, on 13th March 2010, but by Honorable Prime Minister, the program has been named as National TB Elimination Program. And one more important landmark is that on 9th September 22, President of India, Srimati Murmu, Draupadi Murmu ji, she launched online Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan. So now Prime Minister is involved for TB elimination, President is involved for TB elimination, Dr. Surya Kant is involved, and I think whosoever is senior here is involved. Then why can't NMO can be involved? You can be involved. So you can be involved for TB elimination?
Yes, sir.
Yes, very good. And then latest we celebrated the 24th March in 2023. I don't know how many people they have come from Varanasi, but we have a very important summit that is called One World TB Summit, where 17 countries which are having the more prevalent TB, they were represented in that summit. That was the international event organized by our Prime Minister in his parliamentary constituency Varanasi. I was fortunate enough to attend that program. So I witnessed that program also, and that was a very vibrant program. And even the executive director of Stop TB Partnership was present, Madam was present, and representative from high burden country were also present. So now India is leading the global TV program. As you can say, we have started a One World TV Summit. Now, if you see what is the India's share as far as the TB burden is concerned, 29% of incidence of TB cases. You know what is the incidence of any disease? Number of the cases occurring per year, this is called incidence. Total number of cases in a year, they are called prevalence. At a point of time, they are called prevalence. So you must know what is the difference between incidence and prevalence. Both shows the morbidity of the disease, and literally, globally, we have 1 crore TB patient, new TB patient every year, and out of this 1 crore, 29 lakhs are from this country. So we are the highest TB burden country, and still the international bodies say that we will end TB by 2030 or 2035, but our Prime Minister says that we will end TB by 2025. Appears to be a very difficult job, but not impossible. And we have the mortality share also 22%, and drug resistance TB. We know that TB are 2 types, simple TB and drug resistance TB. So we have 31% of drug resistant TB share also. Okay, so I'm not going into the detail of this. This slide shows what are the international target of the TB. That is the 2030 Sustainable Development Goal 2030 and TB by 2035. So we have a new strategy in our country considering that day. So after the discovery of causative organism and the earlier milestone of description of TB in Rig Veda, the third important milestone is the 13th March 2018. You should remember when Prime Minister Modi declared that India will end TB by 2025, and that is in presence of Director General of WHO. Again, you can recognize this fellow. He is the Director General of WHO. Tedros is still continuing as the Director General. And I was again fortunate to be present in Vigyan Bhavan Delhi on that day, on this occasion, at 13th March 2018. So this is the declaration of, very bravery declaration, very daring declaration of Prime Minister that India will end TB by 2025. So this is the launching, virtual launching. You can see the President, you can see the Health Minister that they are launching, and of course myself and my team will also attending this program virtually. Then of course One World TV Summit, latest on 24th March 2023. And of course you can see the Prime Minister, you can see the Madam, she is the Executive Director of Stop TB Partnership, that is the oldest organization against TB. She is from Romania, and she was so happy. If you just, I don't have the time. I have there is a 5-minute video. Just one word. You go to the YouTube and you can listen to the Prime Minister also as well as the Madam also. And within 5-6 minutes of her speech, she appreciated the efforts of India, especially Prime Minister, very much. And of course, finally, we also interacted with the media on this issue. But what are the challenges? These are the 10 challenges before us for NTB, and we must know and we have to. Yesterday, I was very happy that there was a program, Suposhit Bharat. Yes, and of course, the NMO Secretary emphasized on Suposhit Bharat. Until you have Suposhit Bharat, you cannot eliminate so many infectious diseases in this country. So nutrition is very important. And of course, as mentioned by one of the speakers yesterday also, that roughly half of our population is having malnutrition. So what is the challenge is the malnutrition, population and overcrowding. More crowded area, more spread of TB. Immunosuppressive states like diabetes and HIV, they are also. Poor health infrastructure also we are, of course, since COVID we are developing, we are improving our health. Smoking and other addictions. I think every medico should not indulge in any type of addiction, especially the smoking, and we should work for the anti-smoking and anti-tobacco. Air pollution and biomass, thanks to Prime Minister again with the Ujjwala Yojana, now the biomass fuel exposure for Indian females, this is going down. And this is a big achievement for India, that 11 crore poor families, they have been given this clean fuel LPG gas connection till date. It was started from UP, that is Balia in 2016. So in last 6-7 years, around 11 crore poor families have been given this LPG connection. poor sanitation, poor ventilation, poor light, and parda pratha. If I talk in detail parda pratha, then of course there will be a lot of debates, a lot of allegation for me, but this is proven. I am not, Dr. Surya has not written, but this is written in the small book written by two men so many years back, that yes, if you are not exposed to proper ventilation, proper light, they are all risk factors for tuberculosis. Stress, tanav. Stress is also important risk factor. Early pregnancy, repeated pregnancy at shorter intervals. Again, this is not the version of Dr. Suryakant. This has been written that early pregnancy and repeated pregnancy at shorter interval. Those who are female NMO members here, they should note down this thing, and this should be propagated that if you have more pregnancy at shorter interval, if you have early marriage and early pregnancy, your immunity is going down and you are more vulnerable for development. And last but not least, because COVID-19 type of pandemic, they are also setback for our program. So, what is the source of infection? क्या हाथ मिलाने से टीबी हो जाती है? क्या साथ में कुर्सी में बैठने में टीबी हो जाती है? टीबी के मरीज से आपने बात कर ली, दूर से मास्क लगाएंगे तो टीबी हो जाती है? बिल्कुल नहीं होती है। टीबी का मरीज घर में है, उसका जूठा खाना खा लिया, जूठा पानी पी लिया, टीबी हो जाती है? नो। So, what is the source of spread of infection? It is only the coughing, sneezing, and talking very closely to the patient. That is the only way out for the spread of. And the one bout of cough releases 3,000 bacilli. And only one bacillus is enough to spread the disease. But my dear friend, what happens to this exposure? डरने की बात नहीं है, बचने की बात है. I'll show you that statistics also. Transmitted through aerosols. Droplet nuclei can also produce by talking, spitting, and laughing. So spitting should not be allowed. That's why we have anti-smoking campaign, anti-tobacco campaign, because these people, the sunlight, direct sunlight kills within 5 minutes. Can you imagine the power of sunlight? Our Rishi Munis have said that you should go. Our Rishi Munis have already mentioned that you should pray the sun. At least you have 4-5 minutes of exposure to the sun. And if you have the 40 minutes exposure of sun, then you are getting of adequate vitamin D also. And 5-minute direct sunlight exposure kills all the tubercular bacilli. Suppose somebody has a spit, but 5-minute exposure will kill all the bacilli. Indirect light kills in 6 to 8 hours, and diffuse light they may survive up to 8-10 days, and in dark, dust and humid environment up to 10 months. इसलिए आप देखिए किसी शहर में, हर शहर में एक छोटे शहर में नाला होता है, नाले के किनारे एक स्लम एरिया होता है, और सबसे ज़्यादा टीबी के कहाँ केसेस लगते हैं, वहीं लगते हैं. जब भी हम लोग कहते हैं एक्टिव केस फाइंडिंग, तो हम इन्हीं नाले कंजेस्टेड बस्तियों में जाते हैं फॉर एक्टिव केस फाइंडिंग. सो व्हाट हैपेंस आफ्टर एक्सपोजर? क्या आपने गलती से एक टीबी के मरीज के सामने आप चलेगी तो अगले दिन टीबी हो जाएगी? नो. 90% chances are that after the exposure you will remain healthy. After the infection, rather, you will remain healthy. After the infection, you will remain healthy, and only 10% individuals develop active tuberculosis in their lifetime. However, there are certain conditions where you have more chances. 10% lifetime risk becomes the 50 times in HIV, 10 times with diabetes, and of course, malnutrition 10 times, diabetes 4 to 8 times, and smoking 2.5 times. So these are the risk factors which makes you more vulnerable for developing active tuberculosis after exposure and infection. Now, how we are not able to diagnose? ये देखिए चक्रव्यूह, जैसे अभिमन्यु का चक्रव्यूह था, 7 बार थे, 6 उसने तोड़ लिए, 7वें में उसकी मम्मी माता सो गई थी, तो 7वां उसको नहीं आ रहा. तो ये भी चक्रव्यूह है टीबी का, कि सबसे पहले जो आप ऊपर गोला देख रहे हैं, ये टीबी विद सिम्टम्स है. फिर वो है जिनको रियल इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑर्डर किया गया, फिर उनका रिपोर्ट टाइम से आई, फिर वो डायग्नोज हुए, फिर वो उनको ट्रीटमेंट शुरू किया गया, एंड पेशेंट हु गेट थेरेपी एंड गेट क्योर्ड लास्ट गोला है कितना स्मॉल है. सो देयर आर सो मेनी हर्डल्स एंड यू पीपल कैन हेल्प अस इन दिस. कि साहब टीबी की अगर 2 हफ्ते से ज़्यादा खांसी है तो 2 बलगम की जांच कराओ. ये बलगम की जांच हर पीएचसी पे, हर गवर्नमेंट अस्पताल पे फ्री होती है. सो किसी को भी बस सिंपल फॉर्मूला है. क्या फॉर्मूला बताया मैंने? 2 हफ्ते से ज़्यादा खांसी हो तो क्या करना है? 2 हफ्ते से ज़्यादा खांसी है तो 2 बलगम की जांच कराओ. अगर किसी को 2 हफ्ते से ज़्यादा खांसी है तो क्या करवाना है? बोलो भाई, कितनी? हमें सुनाई नहीं पड़ी. फिर बोलो, 2 हफ्ते से ज्यादा खांसी है तो क्या करवाना है? और इस जांच के पैसे लगते हैं? फ्री होती है। कहाँ? सरकारी अस्पताल में, एनी PSC, CSC, डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल, एनीवेयर. So go with message anybody who is having, but all other symptoms can also be there. So these are the pillars of program. Our program is that first try to prevent, then of course detect, treat and build the capacity building. So here I am building your capacity for having a vision for diagnosis of early diagnosis of TB. प्रिजम्पटिव टीबी जिसको मैंने बताया कि 2 हफ्ते से ज़्यादा खांसी है, बट साथ में फटीग हो सकती है, फीवर हो सकता है, हेमोप्टाइसिस हो सकती है, लॉस ऑफ एपेटाइट हो सकता है, लॉस ऑफ वेट हो सकता है. सो दीज 4-5 सिम्टम्स यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. That is a presumptive TB. So this is presumptive extrapulmonary tuberculosis. In this country, 80% TB is pulmonary tuberculosis, 20% is extrapulmonary tuberculosis. And extrapulmonary tuberculosis has two types of symptoms. One is the constitutional symptom, fever, low weight, decreased appetite, tiredness, etc. And specific symptoms may be cervical lymph node, maybe headache, vomiting for CNS tuberculosis, maybe pain in the back for bone and joint tuberculosis, spinal tuberculosis, and pain in abdomen for abdominal tuberculosis. So many extrapulmonary tuberculosis, and TB can happen any organ of the body. Only 2 things are there in body where TB cannot happen. One is nail, second is hair. Third, there is no organ. So any organ or system can have TB. Pulmonary TB means TB of the lungs is the 80% cases in this country. Extrapulmonary tuberculosis may be brain, may be spine, may be bone, may be joint, may be renal, may be female genital, male genital, anything can happen. Skin tuberculosis, anything can happen. So this is around 20%. How will you recognize this in pediatric TB? How many pediatricians are there in this hall? Okay, if you are. So for pediatric TB who have failed treatment with the first line drug, then of course you should suspect drug resistance. Pediatric TB don't respond or contact with the DRG patient. Whenever there is a patient in the family, you must screen the children. This is the simple formula. Very sensitive TB, and these are the some tests. Most important test is the sputum. हमने कहा ना 2 हफ्ते से ज़्यादा खांसी है तो 2 बलगम जांच कराओ. 2 दिन 2 बार 2 सैंपल लेने पड़ते हैं, उसमें 2 जांचें होती हैं. स्पुटम फॉर AFB, acid fast bacilli, and sputum for CBNet और TrueNet, न्यूक्लिक एसिड एम्प्लीफिकेशन टेस्ट. तो एक PCR में एक मॉलिक्यूलर टेस्ट होता है और एक माइक्रोबायोलॉजिकल टेस्ट होता है. सिंपल दोनों होते हैं, ऑल आर अवेलेबल. And this is the slide in which you can see the AFB. This will be some X-ray picture, but there is a rider over the X-ray picture. That X-ray picture is suggestive of pulmonary tuberculosis. It is never diagnostic of tuberculosis because the inter-observer agreement for the diagnosis of pulmonary tuberculosis is only 70%, and the specificity of chest X-ray is only 50%, while the specificity is 99%. And that's why when I joined the King George Medical University as a temporary lecturer in 1996, and I noticed that लोगों ने एक्सरे में देखा नहीं कोई धब्बा है, मे बी लंग कैंसर का धब्बा, किसी का भी धब्बा, और ATG शुरू हुई. Then I said, मेरी कहावत है, ये बहुत पॉपुलर हुई उत्तर प्रदेश में, आपको बता देता हूँ कि जैसे हर चमकती चीज़ सोना नहीं होती, एक्सरे का हर धब्बा TB नहीं होती. So you should remember this thing कि जैसे हर चमकती चीज सोना नहीं होती, एक्सरे का हर धब्बा TB नहीं होती. So be aware that every shadow on X-ray is not tuberculosis. And extrapulmonary tuberculosis you can sample by FNAC. Last day, one medical fellow was talking of the FNAC training for the interns. I think this is a wonderful suggestion. He's a pathologist, so I think we can have the various samples from extrapulmonary tuberculosis by FNAC or by. So a lot of differential diagnosis of pulmonary tuberculosis are there, from lower respiratory infection to the tropical pulmonary eosinophilia to the bronchitis. So in the children, the most important thing is the gastric lavage. You should practice. And for the correct treatment, for the successful treatment, there are 4 C's. 1 C. First is the correct diagnosis. Every time you should think of ये radiology based diagnosis तो नहीं है. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि every shadow on X-ray is considered as TB उसने शुरू कर दी. correct categorization, correct prescription and compliance. So that is the message, I think. So correct diagnosis, we have already discussed. This is the algorithm provided by the program. So one day in the night I sit and I modified this. Now my modified algorithm has been endorsed by now National Task Force of TB. And this is the I devised a simple algorithm. So very simple algorithm. And correct categorization, yes, whether this is sensitive TB or drug resistance TB. Drug resistance can be monoresistance, polyresistance, multi-drug resistance or extensive resistance. And correct prescription you require whether you know whether you don't. So drug sensitive TB you have the 2 months of inacylfluoxetine ethambutol parenteramide followed to 4 to 6 months of inacylfluoxetine ethambutol, and drug resistance TB you should have drug resistance TB. So sensitive TB can be treated by anyone, but drug resistance TB should be referred to the specialist, and I'm not going into the detail of drug resistance TB because this is the cup of tea of only, but NTB by 2025, what new has been done, so there is a notification. Now TB is a notifiable disease since, of course, intensive notifiable disease since 18th March 2018, and everybody has to, every case of TB should be notified. This is another work for you to become the Nikshay. What is Nikshay? That's our governor, UP governor started the TB adoption program. You just adopt one TB patient and become the Nikshay. Niman nahi, Nikshay is TB. So you can become the Nikshay also. And of course the private practitioner also you have to involve, and you have to sensitize the people, and lot of the mobile van and etc. This all have been extensively used for the diagnosis, and of course the mask is also very important, and of course I have been and so many people have interviewed on this also. And mass involvement, everybody, I used to say from Pradhan to Pradhan Mantri, and this is the task force. You can see there is a Central TB Division, the Medical College, the National Institute, and WHO, the Journal Task Force, State Task Force, and the Core Committee of the Medical College. You just go your medical college and inquire whether your medical college has a core committee or not, because NMC has issued a gazette notification if new medical college within 3rd year of inspection, within 4th year of inspection, not having the sensitivity, not having the facility of sensitive TB and drug resistant TB, its of course recognition can be withdrawn. So we have a lot of, so this is the role of medical college and medicos, that engagement with program, teaching, training, advocacy, operation research. जो लोग MD कर रहे हैं, अगर एक thesis आप operation research का proposal देते हैं, you will get 30,000 rupees from the operation research program. So just contact, and those who are PG, they can write on thesis on TB and they can get the 30,000 rupees from the program. So this is another benefit for the, and this is the medical college NMC notification. So role of medicos is awareness, advocacy, Nikshay Mitra, short-term research project as I mentioned, and we have already done it. In King George Medical College, we have adopted the first village of the India on 6th February 2019, and we have also adopted the slum area. We have done a lot of program with governor also. So a lot of things we have done, and we need to write certain awareness article in the media also. And I think you continue with this. Yes, X-ray ka फेफड़े का हर दफा TB नहीं होता. And of course, I wrote 3 books on TB. All are in Hindi. Why? Because I want to intensify the awareness in Uttar Pradesh and all other Hindi-speaking area. My publications are not 165 publications on the tuberculosis only. And thank you very much for your attention.